I'm looking forward to seeing that. I also would like to take a second to say that Speedromizer is a charity marathon with a twist. What you submit is not what you run. Accepted runners are randomly assigned a game from someone else, and they have 90 days to learn their respective game. That sounds like a fun concept. Feel free to join our Discord at speedromizer.live/discord. If you would like to help with future events as well, on that Discord we have volunteer applications listed before events. They are announced through there, so you can keep an eye on the server as well. But without further ado, I believe we're moving forward here right into our next run of Star Sign Any Percent Normal by FalconLuma. So sit tight. We'll see you in a second. Without further ado, let us bridge into the next and final part of today with the run from FalconLuma for Star Sign Any Percent Normal.
Hey, I'm FalconLuma, and I'm going to be running Star Sign for y'all, so I'm going to get into it real quick, because we've got a lot of time to talk. So, all default settings, and let's go. Okay, so Star Sign is a fairly simple game. It's sort of, if you took the core mechanics of what you'd think would be in like a Spider-Man game, remove the combat, and off we go. So, a key element of this game is, well, movement. Obviously, it's all movement, but it's all about preserving momentum. So through here, I need to preserve momentum so I can get a particular launch off this rock. So skip all that, straight over here. So pretty basic moveset with really okay. So yeah, pretty basic moveset. We've got essentially a grappling hook and a slingshot. You can also run and jump. Not going to be doing too much of that because that's a bit slow. Okay, so coming up to here, we get to the main lobbies. Sorry, I've just... Yeah. Okay, so let's go. So we also got bunny hops to conserve speed. So before I go and actually... So each level's broken down to a series of paths. But before I do any of the paths in World 1, I'm going to do 2 quick challenges to get myself some extra slingshot charges. Because they're easily the most useful thing for moving around. So in this particular challenge, the whole thing is traversing without, well, you can only use air controls and the slingshot to move, and I've screwed this up.
I was going to say the movement of this game is very reminiscent of why I think that our co-host would enjoy it. I'm beginning to see some links.
It's not that I have a Spider-Man addiction. It has nothing to do with that. I don't know why you would assume that would be the case at all.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Shoot. He got me again.
Okay,
but yeah, the movement in this game is absolutely like the best part about it. It's just especially after you get these upgrades, you'll start noticing as soon as you can start parrying multiple slingshots in a row very quickly, you can gain some insane momentum very, very quickly. So it's like for the first like 2 minutes of the game before you get those, it's still very fun, but as soon as you get those, the rest of the run just opens up to insane possibilities. So you'll be seeing a lot of the major skips and stuff that we've routed so far. This game is still very much in its infancy.
Yeah.
It's very, it's still very young as far as speedrun games go, and there's a lot of potential. Even this route is not the route that I have currently for the world record run. Falcon has done a really good job at finding lots of fantastic skips and stuff that he's probably going to show off in this run.
Yeah, I got a few. Yeah.
And it's the only reason I have a semi-decent time at this point. So big shout out to Falcon for that, for saving me the legwork.
That's what we love to see. We love to see speedrunners working together.
Isn't that what it's all about?
That's what it's all about.
And that's it. The second challenge is done, so we won't be doing any more challenges for the rest of the run. We got basically everything that we need in terms of upgrades, so now it's just going to be completing the main objective of going to each constellation and collecting them for the end of the game.
Yeah, so now we're starting the first path in World 1 here. In World 1, there's 6 paths grouped into 3 biomes, and each biome sort of introduces its own mechanics. The grass, tree, forest biome, whatever you want to call this, mainly revolves around the zipline things, which pretty simple. You grab onto them and they take you down them. But they can be a bit finicky on whether they want to take you up or down.
Yeah, that's the only real issue with them, is their finickiness of deciding actually you wanted to go down when you were clearly aiming up.
But they're also nice because they give you a good amount of speed. And also, notably, on the center of my screen, you've got the little circle. That's my stamina bar. Holding on to anything uses stamina, and then I can essentially boost on the grapple, which uses stamina at a much higher rate, but gives you a boost,
so
obviously.
You want to be sparing with it as much as you can, only save it for those big jumps that you're planning for, but otherwise...
Okay, and that's our first path done.
Easy. There are upgrades for stamina in the game, but that's slower, so we're not going to bother with that, and we're just going to play better to compensate for that. That's basically it.
Yeah, we have the option to get more stamina, more jumps, as well as an extra slingshot charge, but...
There's a very simple philosophy to that I really like. Just gotta play better.
Just play better. This game is, like, in all intents and purposes, is like a very simple concept.
Oh, yeah.
But if you want to take it to the insane level of the speedrun does, it can get pretty hectic and pretty crazy, especially when you're trying to manage how many slingshots you have, how many jumps you might still have stored, and how much stamina you actually have for any specific trick. So there's a lot that goes into play in any given moment of what we're thinking of.
Yeah. The jumps can be...
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, with jumping, we have, our ground jump, and then we have a double jump, but also in some situations you have a triple jump as well. Like, if you walk off an edge, you store your coyote jump, I guess. So in some situations, you actually get 2 mid-air jumps without upgrades, and it can be weird to keep track of that.
It's one of those games that feels like it has a very easy to get into kind of atmosphere. Like, it's very fun, very enjoyable. And then when you start getting up in that skill ceiling, it can get insane.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that this is a very, like, the atmosphere and everything about the game is very relaxed. So it's a very, like, if it's even just as a casual playthrough, it's a very relaxing game to go through. You don't have to take your, you don't have to go crazy with it. But the speedrun can absolutely go to insane skill levels if you really wanted to.
Oh, yeah. And just there, you saw a bit of a taste of the amount of speed you can gain quickly with that up launch I did there. Later on, we'll be doing much faster ones and much more precise.
I am curious if you're going to end up trying the finger strat later on.
Yeah, that is my plan.
Okay, good stuff.
Touch wood, I've been pretty consistent at it.
It's such a fun... That one was fun just to find. That was one of the best skips to go for.
Oh yeah, when I first thought of it, I was like, I'm not really sure this is possible. Because I spent like hours and was like, oh, I'm almost there. But...
yeah, it felt just out of reach, and then all of a sudden you just find the right technique, and it just starts to click, and you're like, oh, yes. And this is a pretty tight one. Perfect. Good stuff. Whenever you have to, like, just go for, like, a straight vine like that, especially when they're curving everything, like, sometimes it's hard to tell, like, depth for them with the way that
Yeah.
they swirl and stuff. So it's like you're really hoping that you get it sometimes. But he nailed it.
Right.
Something that I'm also doing there is I'm sort of like shooting the grapple down and like just for a second, because I'm holding boost, I get a small speed boost every time I do that with a very low stamina use, which is obviously very useful for going forward. Anyway, so the desert biome introduces us to these tornado things. Pretty simple, you go in them, they launch you in a direction at a set speed. Nice for getting around, sometimes don't take you the best path, but that's a case-by-case thing. We'll also see the introduction of moving objects a bit later into this, which physics get a bit weird with them, a bit unpredictable. And also, yeah, checkpoints. I've been mostly skipping them in World 1, but later on I'll be pretty diligent about getting most of I go past.
Yeah, no matter what, no matter how good you get at this game, it's always good to maybe rely on just a couple just in case for some, especially when you get into World 3.
Yeah, World 3, a few key points in World 2, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely a couple in World 2.
These can be a bit annoying when you're sort of having to go off a vine into a tornado or some other object, where you have to get into the exact hitbox because you can't grapple them. But they can be a bit annoying to hit sometimes. Okay. Of course, moving objects also brings in some degree... God, okay, that was weird.
Some degree of randomness and because again, all depends on when you get there, what the cycle they're on is.
Because of that bump, I'm now off my timing here. Okay, just grab this vine. Let's set this back up.
Perfect. All right. Skip right up to there. Perfect. All right, we're halfway through World 1 now.
Yes. Okay. And yeah, with the slingshots, it shows you the path you're going to go and it changes from white to an orange color. Orange essentially means it's at its maximum charge, so creating any more distance between yourself and wherever it's attached won't give you any more power.
Yeah, so you basically want to get it as soon as you see that orange, you want to go for it then. That's your best bet.
Yeah. And generally it will launch you towards whatever you've attached to, at least horizontally. Like, okay, that was weird. I'll be a double here. And yeah, it's very important to note that speed here always adds to itself, so the faster you're going, like as far as I'm aware, there's no speed cap. It's kind of hard to tell, but
yeah, as far as I've been able to test so far, especially with the finger skip that we'll get to later, it's basically endless as long as you can continue slingshots. You do need a big enough space to do that, to get such insane speed, but there's some places in the game where there's no practical use for it, but you can absolutely just shoot yourself into the stratosphere and you'll spend the next 10 minutes trying to get back down.
Okay. This is awkward. Okay.
Yeah, see, these ones are the worst part of World 1 for me, at least.
Well,
I can't stand these specific platforms.
Yeah. Thankfully we get to skip most of them, but that one is always annoying. In reality, moving platforms are just the bane of my existence in this game.
Anything moving platform wise is just a nightmare. World 3 probably has the worst example of them.
Okay. So here we're going to again use slingshots to try and bridge this gap as much as we can, and I've messed up my angles. But yeah, like with slingshots, if you're falling and try to launch up, you won't get as much speed as if you were like not falling, I guess, like if you're just sort of neutral velocity downwards.
Yeah, you got to be following the momentum that you're currently running, right?
But yeah, and sometimes I will be trying to do an up launch where I have to be below the platform I'm attached to, in which case I'll save a double jump for that to get neutral velocity vertically, and then launch directly after, in order to get as much speed as I can off it. But
Yeah, because a lot of the times when you're trying to get specific jumps, it's like one slingshot is just not enough to get the speed or the distance that you need. So going lower onto the platform lets us have that extra bit of breathing room to do 2 back-to-back slingshots, so that we have that initial speed and momentum from the first one that adds to the second slingshot. So that just lets us zoom across the map.
Yes. Anyway, we're now in the ice biome, so that introduces 2 platform types, these round ice ones. I actually don't know what's special about these. I assume they're slippery if you try to stand on them.
Yeah, it's just that they're slippery. And it's the same basic thing with the icicles there, except if you swing on them for too long and stand on them for too long, they'll just start to fall.
Yeah, pretty standard icicle things.
Yeah, just don't spend any amount of time more than necessary on them. That's all the advice you need.
Yeah, thankfully the slingshot doesn't trigger them to start falling, so... But still, here we're never really hanging on our slingshot. And that's something worth noting. The basic swing grapple has a finite length it can extend to, whereas your slingshot can hang infinitely.
Ooh, very clean into that one. All right, and the final section for World 1. So I believe there's a total of, was it 15? I believe 15 constellations that we'll be getting.
I think it's 11.
Or is it? Oh, I meant 11. I was okay.
6 here, 5 in World 2.
Yeah, I can. Oh man, it's really late for me.
Counting is
it's really late.
Midnight
for me.
brain. Yeah.
That is true. It is quite late, especially for you.
Ooh.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's 11 in total. So there's
asleep.
6 in World 1. There's 5 in World 2, and then in World 3, you have 11 challenges based on each of the originals. 11.
Okay. And also, you may have noticed that black swirly thing. That's sort of a bonus level down there. It's completely irrelevant for what we're doing.
Yeah, it's the only part of the game that doesn't make you feel good at all. So go in at your own risk.
Oh yeah.
If you're going in for the cozy vibes, just don't go down there.
Yeah, it's a fun challenge, but yeah. And
Yeah,
also
it's a
you
fun
have to
challenge.
fall
It
for
also takes-
absolute ages to get there.
I was gonna say it takes forever to get there.
Yeah, it's like at the bottom of the world sphere.
Yeah, the
whatever
first
this
time I went
is.
down there, I wasn't even sure it was anything. I was like, well, I guess after 5 minutes of fun, I'm like, I wonder if this is worth it.
Exactly. I was like, that looks weird. Let's go see what's going on.
It's definitely worth it. So if you play this game, definitely go do it. Just don't be surprised with the weird that you see down there.
Okay, and just coming in here. That's the end of World 1.
Nice and easy. And if the game does not glitch, it should easily, there you go, load into World 2. Sometimes the game just decides not to load properly, and it just won't go into World 2. We can fix that by just exiting the game and reloading back in, but it's something that can happen.
Yeah. Just by the way, I forgot to start my timer, so what's roughly my time? Just like to know.
You're about 16 minutes right now.
Yeah, okay, not too bad. Okay, so World 2, a lot less sort of... Well, there's no preamble to this, where in World 1 we had to get to the lobby area. Here we're just straight into it. And as you can see, there's instantly a lot less solid ground. We're going to be spending... You're forced to spend a lot more time airborne, which means it's much more important to manage your stamina.
We have another anonymous donation that has been sent our way for $20, and the comment is very simply, "Wee," and I love that.
Yes.
It's really easy if you're just playing this casually to just outwardly say "we" constantly.
Yeah.
I gotta give a big shout out to the composer of this game for the absolutely incredible piano soundtrack, because it is just absolutely mesmerizing the entire time.
Okay.
What this-
That's okay. See, this is why we got checkpoints. This is why we get them.
Yes, I was thrown off because I landed on the zip line, because you can ride them as well. I was sort of geared up to be swinging off it, not jumping off it.
Yeah, it is good to land on them whenever you can, like when you're prepared for it. To conserve, like you can gain your stamina back grinding on them.
Yeah.
But it can be a little tricky to get on them too, and when you're moving as fast as you are, sometimes it's hard to even get that moment.
Yeah, they also give you a big speed boost when you jump off them, which again, if you're not expecting,
if you're not prepared for that, then it can completely throw you off.
Yeah.
I believe with that $20 donation, we've reached the 600 point as well. And we've reached $602.60 raised for community. So incredible work, everyone.
Fantastic.
Nice.
That's what I like to see.
We're crushing it.
Absolutely crushing it.
Hey. So yeah, this path here is very zipline heavy. Later on, each path is a bit different in how they're constructed. So just keep going up. Yeah, there we go.
Zip lines are typically still like friendlier than most other. At least they're better than any moving platforms.
Well, at least they don't move.
Yeah, at least they don't move. If they send you in the wrong direction, it's more just like of an annoyance than anything. But
you just let go and re-grab and hope they go the right way this time.
Yeah, just hope that it works out that time.
It's vaguely based on which way you're facing and where you're grabbing it, but it's still just inconsistent.
Yeah, sometimes it just feels like, no, you're wrong, game. That's not correct.
And
I
then
did
sometimes,
everything right.
Yeah, sometimes you're near the end and it'll grab the post instead of the zip line.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can also slingshot off them, but I'm not sure if the slingshot gets the same aim assist as the swing thing it does.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because you have to be very precise if you try and slingshot off these. Okay, so here we're supposed to go around. I'm going to go straight up. We're supposed to... There we go.
Oh yeah, that's plenty of
Yeah, I kind of got bounced by the angles there, but I'll be able to come back in. You get
fine.
You get a decent amount of air control. Okay, that's that one down.
And obviously, as we're going through the worlds, each challenge is going to get like slightly longer in terms of the actual length for each one. So World 1 and 2 are probably about half, or maybe about a third of the time of the actual full run, and then most of the run is going to be in World 3.
World 3 tends to take the best part of an hour.
Yeah, that's just part of it. But again, Falcon found a ton of different skips and everything. He really cut down World 3 to an insane degree.
I want that checkpoint just because. Give me this checkpoint. Thank you. So here you're going to get a bit of a sneak peek of what we're going to do a bit later on. Here it's not as important exactly how I do it. I missed that, so we'll just go here, I guess.
That donation is going to live rent-free in my brain because I'm just going to be thinking "we" the whole time I'm watching.
Yeah.
Nothing but we.
This is awesome.
Yeah, here is a bit of questionable level design from the creator of the vertical spiral. This gives us a lot of opportunities to break it. Because the one thing we can do a lot of is get vertical speed. So, yeah. I'll go to the next one actually. Sort of thrown myself off because I didn't get the first launch as how I wanted it. It's like you're supposed to keep going up and around, but
we don't like the around part. We'll just deal with the up part.
Okay, let's see. Man, okay.
Yeah, nothing feels better than getting those big skips where you just fly past like layers and layers of platforms and you're like, nah, I don't need any of that.
And probably unsurprisingly, these sort of tall rocks are preferred for doing these because it gives you a lot more room to grab. because you want to grab higher on each launch to get the orange slingshots. I'm just going to play it safe from here.
Yeah, just be
Can't
good.
remember
It's
off the top of my head.
like when you can't remember the last checkpoint you got, it's like typically
Yeah, that's pretty much
like,
it.
maybe I'll just take it easy, just for a little bit.
Yeah.
We've received another anonymous $25 donation saying, "It's been a blast watching all the runs and seeing how hard the runners have been working over the short 90 days. Keep up the amazing work, everyone." Thank you very much.
I always gotta give credit to anyone who gets my games for speedruns, because a lot of the games I get or that I typically run are fairly long, with a few exceptions. But so
I was gonna say Mario Party comes to mind.
I don't want. You're lucky I just didn't submit an all boards run. You guys would not have. You want to play Mario Party for 6 hours by yourself,
Okay.
and then ultimately lose it at the 5.5 hour mark? That's the best.
So those are some of my favorite streams of yours to watch.
Those are the best ones, because you can tell what level of anger I am depending on when it happens.
The 5th hour mark when Yoshi just decides to ruin it all.
No Yoshi in this game to ruin my day. Star sign to way more preferred.
Yeah. Okay, just another quick addition. We have that cloud sort of cloud platform there. They're similar to the tornadoes, except they're more of a trampoline, I guess.
Yeah, it's like they basically serve the same purpose.
Yeah,
like you can't swing, you can't grab them or interact with them at all. You just touch them and they do the thing. They send you.
Yeah, except they almost always. Wait, I didn't want to go there. I want to go up. Okay. Reset to that checkpoint. Completely forgot what I was doing here. Much better.
There you go. Yeah, and that's still faster than going the rest of the way that you were doing. It's like, yep, that's just goes to show how good slingshotting can be.
Yeah, and the thing with clouds is they almost always take you on a path that is much longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, so it's like most of the time if you see a cloud, you want to just ignore it as much as possible.
Yeah, the tornadoes are generally pretty straight to the point, but clouds just give you a massive path that you just don't want to be taking.
Now, this is one part of World 2 that shouldn't be that bad most of the time, but drives me nuts half the time.
I spent so much time here on my casual playthrough. Now I'm just going to reset.
First time it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare.
The thing is, when you're doing it casual, you want to stop at each one and take a rest. You want to just keep your momentum going. It makes it so much easier. Like, because when I landed on it, I just stalled out. I had no speed, and it was going to be a pain.
It's way harder to build speed on a
more.
platform like that. It's just you need to just trust yourself to just keep going with it.
Yeah, and the thing is, each platform is progressively smaller than the last as well. But yeah.
Once you get past that one, you're home free. You're good.
Yeah. Yeah, like keeping up the momentum gives you the slingshots are more than long enough to get between platforms. If you take a break and stop, it's quite easy to be in a position where you just can't quite reach.
So I think, this is one of the few clouds we do have to get, because it is. I think you can make it without the cloud.
Yeah.
But it's, again, that's a really tight one, and way better to be safe, especially when you're that far away from a checkpoint.
Yeah, I got a bit lost. I thought I was somewhere else where I could skip that cloud, but yeah. Give me that. Okay, that was weird. I'll go off this one. And something you'll see is that, like, I'm grabbing things with the slingshot below me, but I'm still launching up. Like, the game doesn't really care about, like, vertically where you are relative to your slingshot. It only cares about your horizontal, where you are, because, like, you can't launch away from, like, a wall, which is, probably, if that made any sense.
Yeah, it checks out.
Like,
you
you
can
can't launch
only,
away from a wall, but you can launch away from the floor, which is weird but useful.
Yeah, it's like you have to get your head around the idea, like, first. But once you understand, like, that's how it works, then it clicks a lot easier, and you're a lot more confident with your slingshots at that point.
And it's what makes, like, moving so much faster is being able to just slingshot off something directly below you and get heaps of forward momentum. Okay, so that's 3 down. That was not a very good one. Wait, I need to grab that.
Like I said, this game is still very, very young in terms of like, in terms of what's possible with it for the speed run.
In reality, I'm just improvising most things I'm doing that aren't like set skips.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, other than the set skips that you'll typically have, like most of the time you're just taking it as, like as casually as you can in the moment. Just your quick thinking, just trying to be like, all right, what can I do in this scenario? But I think this run, just based on the routing that Falcon's come up with and the theoretical times that both me and him have seen so far, I believe this game could probably be done under an hour. That's like kind of that's going to be my goal.
That would be impressive.
I think it's insane. I think right now my summa bet, or not even my summa bet. I think like my last run, I lost about 10 minutes on World 3 just due to some goofs I had. And I still got a 122 out of it. So I know that bare minimum, like a 110 should be easy enough to beat. Easy enough in quotes.
A clean run.
A clean run is definitely doable under the 110s. It's past that, that's where it's going to get a lot trickier. But I think it's definitely possible at this point.
Okay. Again, we just skipped some clouds and some zip lines because we did not have time to go around the houses here.
We got places to go, things to see, stuff to steal. Like, we got things to do.
I don't know if I've mentioned bunny hopping, but yeah, you can bunny hop to conserve speed on a platform.
Yeah, as long as you're quick, as soon as you land, if you jump right away, you'll maintain that momentum. So it's nice to have every once in a while, especially on ice platforms, because they seem to give you a little extra momentum too when you use them specifically. So always a bonus.
Really nice. When you just undershoot or overshoot something, it's nice to be able to just jump and conserve all your speed.
It's like you don't have to immediately lose it and reposition yourself entirely. It's like, okay, you can save it still. This is another one where I tend to be really stupid, and I think I can skip the cloud here, and you definitely can. You can if you're smart. I end up for whatever reason I always mess it up, and I always forget to get the check mark before I even try the harder skips. So I just play it safe.
Again, a bit of questionable design going on here because there's a reason most of this game has you going up. Because the minute you go down, it's like, well, you're just gonna clear distance for a while. I can go a lot longer now and still make where I need to get to because I can fall. And again here, like I think this is supposed to be a double cloud here, which is really slow. So if I get close enough, hello, there we go. It's a bit worried there for a sec. But yeah, you come off the zipline onto that cloud and it launches you all the way to there.
Yeah, it takes an eternity.
In a massive arc. Yeah. It's such a waste of time to take it. Also, just because there's water, it's essentially meaningless. It does nothing.
It's basically nothing. It's not a hazard. It's just, it kind of exists there every once in a while. It is pretty.
Sometimes it's just nice to look at it, I guess.
All right, so now we're getting to by far the best skip in the game. Again, this was a collaborative effort between me and Falcon trying to see if this was possible. And when we finally broke it, it felt so good to get this one.
This again feels like the dev was like, oh yeah, this will look cool, but no way this will in any way break my game. But
I think when I sent the clip to the creator Joel, I think he responded, "How the hell did you do that? What do you mean you can do that?"
So as you can see, the finish is right there.
Yeah,
And we
right
have this
above
nice, helpful, tall guy right here who happens to be pointing straight up at it.
It's like he was there just for us. It was so we're so thankful for him.
Okay, so we want to stand about there, grab there, and this might not work. Nah, okay.
That's a little close.
Yeah, nah. You need to get pretty much all 3 orange slingshots.
Yeah, you got, and like the last one, you really want to try to get as close to the tip of the finger as you can.
But like as you can imagine, I can take so many tries at this and it still be fine because you've seen how long a path is.
Yeah, I think when I did the math, it was like you can mess this up still like 5 or 6 times straight, and you're still gonna come out positive. Like,
I think
rather
this should
than
be
taking
good.
the standard way. Oh yeah, that looks clean.
Yeah.
Easy. So like this one skip alone saved like 10 minutes. It was insane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's about the
That
only thing
is
I've
such a cool
developed an
skip,
actual
though.
setup for, because I always stand on that particular spot, then get just below the elbow, then just like where the thumb attaches to the
like
hand.
that's by far the best spot I've been able to find. Like, I
and
tried
this
the
is the
ear
most-
for a long time. The ear just wasn't helping.
Yeah. So, and this is the most unintuitive bit of design there is here. Like, you have to put yourself on that platform in a particular spot to make it go forward.
Yeah, it's not like World 1 where it just ends. You have to go there for some reason.
Casually, I think I spent 15 minutes retracing every single path, thinking I missed one.
Yeah, I
was
thought
like,
I
what
broke.
the hell
I thought
am
I
I
broke
supposed
the
to
game.
do?
I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. And then I somehow just ended up landing in the middle of it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, even then I didn't actually know what was going on. I was like, well, it progressed. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, you're like, what happened?
Okay, and this is another fun skip here.
Yeah, the geometry here is so annoying. Oh, you do it here. This is way better than where I do it. I do it on an earlier spire.
Yeah, you do.
Because it's sooner, but like the geometry sucks with the rings around
I tried
it.
doing it there. I just kept hitting the ring.
Yeah.
That is like such an admirable trait. Just to be like, you do that so much better than I do.
Yeah, it's just a way smart. Because I'll just bang my head against the wall until it works.
Yeah.
That's my mentality. This is why when Falcon started finding all the strats and stuff, I was like, oh, thank God, somebody with brain cells who looks at the game and goes, oh, we could do that better.
I think this was the first one I found. But just to give you an idea, so this is World 3 is actually like World 1, where we have a bit of a preamble to get to the center. Except here, we just skip it and go straight to the end of one of the paths.
Yeah, we don't care.
Because like, there's a lobby down there. We stopped there. I should look where I'm going, or I'll fall into the abyss.
It's called confidence.
Yeah. And
so there'll be it does this in sets of 3, so there'll be 3 challenges and 3 separate like areas basically, and then a final 2, and then the end of the game will be right after that. So.
And each time we have to watch this little cutscene of the star going in and the constellation forming. So, yeah.
And it's like, whoa.
That's how I felt too.
Yeah. Thankfully, the game actually lets us complete the paths before getting the center checkpoint, because I tried skipping the center in World 1 once, and turns out the stars don't spawn in then.
Yeah, that took me a while to figure out when I first started running the game. I was like, why aren't they here? And then I realized what the error was, and I was like, oh, okay, neat. I'm glad that this, and it's weird. So World 1 just has all these weird mechanics that just don't happen in the rest of the game, like that spawning thing, or the when you finish the world and it just ends it automatically for you.
Yeah.
It's like that's the only world that acts that way. I don't know why World 1 is weird like that.
Yeah, here I can just up launch up there, but I choose not to because I like to get this checkpoint instead, and like we were just there, so it's like no time loss.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like that's an easy one to just do the normal way, and you're save yourself a lot of trouble if something goes amiss.
And yeah, quickly, new mechanics. We have those teleporting black hole things and the spoons that throw you.
Yeah, the teleporting isn't usually too bad. It's usually pretty straightforward. They designed them fairly decently so that I don't think I've had a problem where I teleported out of a black hole into an impossible scenario.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it could happen. That's the thing. I'm positive that it can happen.
Yeah, this trio here are actually quite interesting because like, you're supposed to just go through how I'm going through it, but if you go in that first one, then go back through the one you come out of this one that way. Like, because normally
Yes.
they're linked in pairs, but that set is a weird trio instead. Anyway. And also, I'm just going to put it out here, I find the depth perception in World 3 so much more difficult.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about
everything is
World
blue.
3s. Yeah, I think it's just the fact that everything's blue makes it so much more difficult. But it looks gorgeous. It looks great,
yeah.
but sometimes it's just like, what do you mean I didn't get it?
Like, and
It might be a
those-
little easier if it was like light blue background on a dark blue platform.
Oh, so you mean just do
To,
it
like,
backwards?
reverse it?
Yeah, I don't think it's. Honestly, I don't think it'll help at all.
and like,
It's just a little too blue. We gotta take out the blue.
originally I had so much issues, and then I worked out if I turn off all the anti-aliasing, everything is clearer, because with anti-aliasing, everything just glows a bit.
Oh
just
yeah, so it's
threw
way
me
more
off.
like there it is.
So yeah, I've just turned the render scale all the way up and no anti-aliasing. I can see, like especially at the ends, the big yellow stars,
Yeah.
they just swallowed everything. It's like, where am I supposed to land? Okay, don't give me that then.
You caught it. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 missed slingshots. It's like, okay, I'm just going to grab that and readdress it.
And also, if you're intimidated by like the difficulty that this game might have, there's a ton of accessibility options in this game to make it easier. There's infinite jumps. You can give yourself infinite or just extra if you don't want to go that hard. But you can determine everything in terms of your slingshot numbers, your jump numbers, your stamina percentage, and everything like that. So if this game looks intimidating at all, don't worry. It's very, very casual friendly as well.
Yes. Also, notably, extra checkpoints.
Yeah. Also,
That was such a nice thing for learning. It was like, okay, there's checkpoints pretty much after everything that you could consider one obstacle.
Yeah.
Because, like, especially later on, you have to do 3 or 4 difficult sections back to back. But with extra checkpoints, you get a checkpoint between each, so you can just do each one by itself.
Or if you want a little bit of extra challenge, there are 2 built-in modes for no checkpoints at all, or the floor is lava, where you literally cannot touch the ground ever without dying.
You can't stand.
I don't know if you've ever tried that yourself.
I played
Logan?
around with it a bit. I only did like 1 or 2 paths in World 1. I never like seriously tried to do it.
Yeah, I think in the next little while, that's going to be my goal, is at least attempt to get a run out of both no checkpoints and and floor is lava. I think both of those are going to be hell. Might open you up to some new possible strats that you have to think of on the fly just to get through that.
Don't know why my jumps didn't work there. Okay, and yeah, there's these little annoying things. They're so hard to see.
These quote-unquote platforms that barely count as a platform.
It doesn't help that they also move slightly. They're doing this weird off-center rotation thing constantly.
Yeah, and they're very easy to, like, when you launch off them, to end up heading straight towards it and bonk yourself into a horrible, horrible angle that you just cannot survive from.
Yeah. And they're always in like a set of 3 or 4, so like you almost always have to do multiple at the same time.
One's difficult enough, and then when it's usually just 4 of them, if not more, it's a nightmare.
And then they'll be strung between 2 difficult obstacles with no checkpoint. It's like,
oops,
great.
sorry,
like,
do it again.
Yeah. Okay. I keep getting underneath platforms I want to be on.
I have some spectator's advice for if you'd like some immersive feelings while you watch this game. get yourself like a fan, like a tabletop fan, and put it down and like right next to your monitor.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss that.
Also, one other thing, if you do like this game and decide to give it a try, I know that the creator of this game, Joel, is also working on a new update for the game that's going to add level creation to it.
Okay.
Not sure how far out it is, but I do know that he's working on it, and yeah, it'll be really fun to see if anyone decides to come up with some absolutely insane levels.
I can only imagine the monstrosities that can come out of that.
I'm gonna make it's gonna be nothing but 20 of the guy pointing to the sky, and you have to do the perfect launch every single time.
Just to get to the bottom of the other guy.
Yeah, just reach his foot.
All it's for is so that you can go up over a wall.
That would honestly make for very good practice for that part, though.
Yeah, I'll just count it as a speedrun tactic. That's all.
Yeah,
it is.
exactly. It's not you being mean. It's just speedrunning.
Oh yeah, don't worry about the falling here. It's just
yeah. I hit the thing through the floor. Once I press F, it's locked in, and there's no like fall timer death, which is nice. So you can just fall infinitely.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten to a point falling where the game went, oh, sorry, no, that's our bad. Go back.
In the World 1 challenges, it will kick you out because they're above the finishers.
Oh yeah.
So I tried that one. I was like, oh, can I just fall from like the first challenge and get all the stars like that? But no, that has a full timer on that. It was like, no, we thought of that.
Okay, what's worse than vines normally? Oh, how about just short vines you can barely see or grab onto?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Oh, 8 of them in a row? Oh, you shouldn't have. Thank you.
And here is my arch nemesis.
There it is. There's our grand enemy of the run.
Rock on chain.
Yeah, rock on chain. Absolute bastards. Some of these ones are the way that you have to like gain momentum is you kind of have to like leg the camera behind it so that you don't like, because sometimes you'll just go faster than how they spin, and it'll just completely throw off your momentum, so you have to launch off them a very specific way.
Oh yeah, and like depending on your speed going into them, you may end up in a weird cycle where you're like looping around them just before you want to jump off them. Like you'll loop around the end of it when you really don't want to be.
And then trying to get out of that cycle is just like insane, and it's sometimes it could just be an absolute hassle. Most of the time lost in the run currently, I think it's just on those stupid rocks. Rocks on chains, can't stand them.
And like it's all about stamina management because you often have to hold on to them for a while and then boost off them. So you need a decent chunk of stamina to even complete them.
And if you don't have a lot of stamina, then you're like kind of forcing yourself into a scenario where you have to just rush it, and that can just become disastrous at that point.
So yeah.
Thankfully, if you're ever low on stamina and you have any ground to stand on, standing on the ground for like about a second will like pretty much instantly revive all of your stamina. So it's the best way to get it back if you need it really quickly.
Yeah, or if you're in the middle of like a set of 3s, just launch yourself up and regain your stamina in the air.
Yeah. Don't worry about the time loss. It's better to have that extra stamina if you need it.
Well, it's a better time loss than falling into the abyss.
Yeah, it's much better than that at least.
Yeah, and here it's very vital that I boost off these zip lines. I'll keep calling them zip lines.
There's sky rope.
Yeah, but with those it's vital that you boost off them to get your directions right.
Yeah, thankfully we can skip at least one rock. You can probably end up chaining these and skip them all entirely. But again, rocks on chains are suck. So
yes, anything to skip them.
Yeah, anything to skip them is gonna be the priority in terms of routing. If we can basically route anything, that means we don't have to deal with them. That it's everyone's immediately happier.
Yep. Am I gonna get enough height off that? Nope.
Yeah, the other thing you'll notice in World 3 is specifically with these sky ropes is that they absolutely love placing them just like about as far as they can reasonably go for a casual player. So unless you're doing boost strats like perfectly on those ropes, which again is very difficult in scenarios, you have to be really careful with conserving your stamina just to make sure that you can boost from rope to rope.
Oh yeah. It's the one nice thing about them being that far apart is you get a bit of regen between them.
Yep.
So that's 4 down, yeah?
Yeah, that's 4. Leaf. I can't remember like half of the ones that they're supposed to be.
Some of them are a bit more literal than others, thankfully.
I think I actually just when you started running the game, I wasn't running with the splits with the names of the constellations, and I literally just watched your video. I was like, oh, that's what it is. Okay, cool. And I just wrote all that down.
I had to like adjust my splits 3 times because I was basing them off the achievement order I got, but I realized they were out of order in my achievements list.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what and then I realized that after I took yours, I was like, oh, oops.
Yeah, like, I think it was like the leaf, and I was like, that does not look like a leaf on my next run.
Yeah, I was like, that's not a leaf. I believe that's the trident. Weird.
Yeah. Okay, with those spoon launch things, it's essentially it scoops you up and then you choose when to get off it.
They're pretty safe for the most part.
Yeah. It's essentially look where you want to go, and when you cross over it, you're fine to go.
Yeah, it's about as straightforward as it can reasonably be, for the most part.
Yeah. They're mostly there, I think, just to spread the map out a bit, and it just looks cool at the end of the day.
It does at least look cool. It feels good zooming out of them.
Yeah.
Another safe checkpoint just in case, because I think
especially with these two.
These rocks. Oh.
Yeah, so I do not have enough stamina for this. Okay. This is what I mean. Like, I've regained about half my stamina just by hanging in the air there, because as you can see, you use a lot quickly with these. Okay, and boost. So thankfully here we can skip to the end now. That's been placed conveniently close.
It's like, oh man, the goal's right above us? If only there was a way to go up.
Yes, look at all these spinning rocks I don't have to deal with.
Yeah. Oh, sweet, sweet relief.
God, I missed those, but okay.
Still worth it. Still worth it.
Like, even if that was done perfectly, it takes a while, so... Didn't get my third one there. Still. Okay, so let's try this another time.
Alright, here we go.
There we go.
There we go. Clean. Very clean.
Beautiful.
I mean, overall, you're having a very good World 3 so far.
Okay. Touch wood, I haven't actually made a big mistake yet, so hopefully that continues.
Yeah. Sometimes you can just get like caught in like one area for like 10 minutes, and you're just like bashing your head against the wall. You're like, this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, it just stun locks you, and then you're like, this is easy. There's a harder thing right there, and then you first try the hard thing.
Yeah. And you're like, come on now.
They speedrunner's plight. I know that all too well.
I've never had a run that did that more to me than this game. Like this run in particular loves doing that. Where you're like, really? I've done this a million times. This shouldn't be. Like, why is this
it up now?
Yeah, why is this the issue?
Yeah, another nice little vertical launch
nice
skip
little
there.
skip there. Yep.
Okay. And now we're dialing it up with rocks. Okay, go.
Yep, back to the rocks. Here we go. Now he should be able... Yep, skips the first one at the very least.
These ones aren't too bad because you don't have to go particularly far
these
on
ones
them.
are pretty... Yeah, these ones are pretty close to each other, and it's not too far from where you're actually trying to go.
Yeah, but like this is what I mean about you get stuck looping around like the top of them. Thankfully,
Yeah,
again,
and especially if
boost.
if you don't know where you are in relation to the rock and you waste all your stamina and then you just end up spinning around, you're like, ah, damn it.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, in case you haven't been able to tell how we've been talking about it, I've really enjoyed learning this game.
I'm really glad.
This has been a ton of fun.
Because that's always the toss-up whenever you're submitting a game for this event is specifically for Speedromizer. It's always like, I really hope whoever gets this game enjoys the run. And for me, that's the whole reason I even submitted this game, is like, I really want to know if I'm crazy, if I'm the only one who thinks this is fun, or if this is actually a legit, very entertaining and fun speedrun.
No, okay, that was where's the checkpoint? Okay, not too far. I had to go that far on it, and I've messed that up, so back to here. But yeah, this is like, it's so fun because it's simple, but it's like challenging at the same time.
Yeah, it's the best speedrun games are the games that are simple in you know, fundamental wise. It's a very simple concept, very simple controls and things like that. But man, the amount of strategy and trickery that goes into it when you really start delving into it, nothing beats that. It's a very satisfying game to get right.
So satisfying to complete those things that like took you an hour on your casual playthrough, and to just get them first try now, think, oh yeah, that's easy.
Like, that was nothing. Easy. Yeah, because I think, man, how many hours did it take me the first time I played this?
Like some of the stuff I got stuck on, it was like, why was that difficult for me back then?
Yeah, when you look back at it now, you're like, oh, really? That was really my issue?
Yeah, I think it's like in the third path of World 3, there's like those 7 bars that go around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was there for an hour. It's like, why was I there for an hour? I think that's where I really learned how to use the boost.
At least those moments like actually actively taught us how to be better. We're like, oh, and then once you knew, you're like, oh yeah, I was the problem. It was me.
Yeah.
All right, so we're about the halfway point of World 3 now. Like we said, World 3 is the majority of the run. So, but yeah, and it only gets harder from here, which is wonderful.
Oh yeah, the first 2 rounds are sort of the warm-up, teaching you, here's what you've got coming up.
Yeah, it's like, here's the general idea what to expect. Now we're gonna basically take away most of the platforms and give you nothing to work with. Have fun. Good luck. And what we do give you is janky and weird and barely works.
Yeah. And because you're airborne so much, you have like always operating on like a quarter stamina.
So yeah, this is the world where like managing your stamina means like the most, more than any other world.
Okay, I'll get the first one here. These ones I don't need to boost off because they're so close, but...
Yeah, I know. It's like every time part of me wants to slingshot off like one of the rocks. And I'm like, no, don't do it, idiot. You're just gonna die.
Yeah.
Because like slingshotting horizontally is like the best thing for you. Like going up, it's like there's very little penalty if you just don't get the height that you need. It's like, okay, you just fall back down, try it again. But if you're going vertically and just shooting yourself, I think mixed up those words. Either way, if you're trying to go a further distance, that's a lot more risky, because if you're off by just a little bit, well, I guess go back to the last checkpoint you're at. Hopefully it wasn't too far.
Because vertically you can just fall back to where you started most of the time.
Yeah.
But horizontally you have a decent chance of just going into the void.
And don't get me wrong, we love the void. Void's great. It's just not what we're looking for.
No.
Man, you've been hitting those like perfectly every time. Like, you don't miss a cycle, you just immediately get it.
I don't know, I've always actually found those just really easy. I don't know, but
I just always end up there, not on like the right cycle.
Yeah, to be fair, like usually I do miss a few cycles. I have been going exceptionally well today.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic run so far. Again, I don't want to jinx it. Okay, we're good.
I honestly thought I lost that. I thought I was too far away. I'm not even sure how I got back out.
Horrifying.
I have no clue how I even got back out there, but I did.
Good save. Good save.
Okay, let's bring the heart rate back down.
Yeah, good time to calm back down. We're good. Got time to breathe a little bit.
Okay. If you get the speed there right, you can skip this first one and get straight to here, but you have to get the speed, you have to get the launch, everything has to be pretty tight there.
Still got through it. Again, that's one where it's like I've been stuck on for like 10 minutes and just bashing my head on the keyboard like, why can't I do this?
Yeah. These ones that like don't rotate like in one direct, well, like they don't rotate either forward or sideways.
Yeah, they do like this awkward diagonal launch.
They're at a weird off-axis spin. They are weird sometimes.
Oh, the music kicked in. I got really dazed for a second. I was like, oh man. Oh, this is
it's so easy to lose yourself in it.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. More damn rocks on chains.
Yeah, and like getting them right is all about like getting your camera right and like doing the right thing with the keys. Like originally I was almost always holding a key, like a directional key.
Yeah.
But like, you have to be neutral for most of the swing until you're almost where you want to get off. Because otherwise it just throws you around really weirdly. Okay, I saved that.
Good save.
Okay,
you're good.
Let's just chill out and
it's
slow
fine.
down.
It's fine. We're good. Yeah, just take it easy.
Yep. Okay, let's just get our stamina back.
Just get some stamina back. Just remember where we are.
Yep. Reorient ourselves. Okay. This one's annoying because again you have to use stamina to get to the rocks in the first place here. Like you've got these rope swings.
It's again the perfect amount of distance to just annoy the casual playthrower and subsequently also annoy us.
I should be able to just sort of stall in the air here. Yeah,
this should be good.
The thing is, like, if you end up like right in the middle of the chain, you can't quite reach far enough.
Yeah, it's you're just out of the way, so you don't want to be in the middle of it at any time.
This is a nice one just to grind on because it's a straight jump to the next. Interestingly enough, actually grinding on a rail doesn't count as standing, so you don't get the fast stamina regen or the fast slingshot recharge.
Yeah, it basically acts as if you're just in the air still.
Okay.
All right, this is probably the most grueling section of rocks that exist. Especially because the checkpoint for this one is like fairly far back, so it's like this one.
It's not a lot of room for error with this one. I would say the one on the final, well, one of the final two paths, that one's more difficult, but the checkpoint does make this one more punishing.
Yeah, this one, it's like when you mess this one up, you feel way worse.
Yeah.
Oh, but without even thinking, Falcon absolutely just crushes it.
Beautiful.
Still going clean, still going clean.
Okay, so 3 to go.
Yeah, the last two, the area that we spawn into for the last two changes up the dynamic a little bit to get to the levels, but it's not too bad once we get there.
Yeah. And they're also, in my opinion, probably the two most interesting levels in World 3, albeit for completely different reasons.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like they're a great final end to this. Even if one of them is because of the skip in it, or the skips in it. But let's not think too far ahead. Let's just get through what's in front of us.
Stay in the moment. Yeah, before we start really setting ourselves up here.
Okay, let's just go back a bit. And yeah, a lot of this is just like, I guess, intuitive? Is that the right word? I don't know. Like,
intuitive.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Like the ability to see what's going on and quickly work out, okay, what do I do from here?
Yeah, because realistically, the game gives you like the perfect amount of time to be able to assess your situation and figure out what you need to do in order to get through it. Here's another fun skip right here.
Okay, got a checkpoint.
Again, the game is only as hard as you want it to be. So if you decide you want to take the speedrun route, this game can get very challenging depending on the strats that you want to go with. But even on just on a casual playthrough, you can do just as many crazy stuff, cool stuff. You can do it at a leisurely pace and somewhat comfortable for the most part.
Okay.
Real good final one on that one.
So just quickly, do you have anything you'd like to read out?
Yeah, do we got anything?
Double checking here. We just received, about 5 minutes ago, a $100 donation.
Ooh.
From Joel Obrist.
Oh!
Nice.
The man, the myth, the legend himself. Thank you so much for the donation.
You, Joel.
Yeah, thank you.
That's huge. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Joel, for making the game.
Yes, thank you for making an interesting game to watch. This is so cool.
All right, so the final two here. So obviously you can see the drastic change that we have.
Yes, we have to. Yeah, so
Yeah,
we're
but
now navigating this asteroid belt, and yes, that is a teleporter thing in the center. As far as I know, the place it takes you to is completely like useless per se.
Yeah, it's just a side place. That's all it is.
Yeah,
really.
like
I don't even know. Do you get an achievement for going in there? I don't remember.
Like it's no. I don't think so.
It's just there. I think the first time I played this, I didn't even like clue in that was something I could go into. Weirdly enough,
the thing is, that's actually the first thing I saw. What I did when I saw it, I was like, oh, what's in there? I guess.
Yeah, it's so weird because like when I saw in World 1, when I went to the secret world down there, I was like, oh, that's got to be something, right? And then when I got to here and saw that one, never even crossed my mind.
Yeah, because my thing was like, oh, okay, what's in there? That's big and interesting. It looks like the other black hole things. And then I was like, so what am I actually supposed to do here?
Yeah. Is this anything? I think I was like doing a run where, and like I was having a rough World 3. I got to this point and I looked at it and I was like, have I ever been in there? What is that? Like I like didn't recognize it. It was like the first time I really like observed what it was. I was like, wait a minute, where does that go?
So yeah, prefacing this, so of the two routes, this is Chains is the constellation, and I think this is probably the hardest level in the game, mainly because of those three there, if you can see them.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, and this is the checkpoint.
Yeah, so remember this is where the checkpoint is, and everything you have to go through beforehand.
And also, because it's relevant at the end, before all the stars have had those rings around them, which have made it fairly forgiving to get to them, the last two don't have that.
No.
They're both suspended in space with no platform near them. Which isn't a big issue for this one, but for the other one, it's a bit more of an issue. It's also just a nice touch that the rings have been getting slowly more destroyed as we've gone through the different levels. Yeah, I'm going that way, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it means on a lore perspective.
I have no clue what the lore in this is, but
there, at least in the underground, there's weird lore in the secret world that I don't know how to take it.
Yeah. It feels like there's a lore here somewhere. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's just what is it? I need to know.
I get the general idea of we're a star that fell from the sky, and some others did as well, I think, and we're all trying to get back. I think that's the general idea.
I think that's the general idea. And then when you go to the secret world, you find out that there's many how should I say retired star people laying at the bottom down there.
I think I might have missed that, to be honest.
Oh yeah, there's
I did
just
the
like
secret
a whole
world, but I think I just
them.
I've screwed that up. Can I get back? Please let me get back. This one's always a bit awkward.
I think you can get back.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Ooh. We're good.
That's what I was saying a long way back about you get into a weird position where you loop around the edge a lot. It's always at the worst time. So I'm just gonna... Okay, I'm just gonna launch up and
just
try
reset
again.
yourself.
Yeah, because you can just get into a weird cycle.
Yeah, and again, it's better to just reset yourself on the task that you're on rather than just wing it, go for it, and then absolutely biff it, and then have to redo entire sections again.
Yes, and as you saw there, like after setting myself back up, I got perfect that time because just how the velocities work together, it just sometimes doesn't line up. Okay. So final bit of this path.
But again, very, very clean on chain.
Straight in.
Straight in.
Okay, yep, got that. Thankfully, there's a checkpoint right there if you
look
somehow
back to like grab
completely
it.
screw
Like,
this
did I
up.
get it? Like, please tell me I got that.
Excuse me.
All right, one more main challenge.
Yes. Okay. I'm sort of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, they're just.
You would think
like,
in a
there's-
field of asteroids that your odds of at least being near one of them.
yeah, there's just
would be
sometimes a
okay.
dead spot in there, and you just end up in it.
There's a whole load of nothing. You're like, oh, okay. I guess this is okay.
We're just living with this now. This is fine.
I didn't want to make it on that one anyway.
No,
Nah.
of course not.
So here's another vertical spiral. So this one's a bit broken.
Yeah, this one is ridiculous, especially for like what for most people will be like the last one that they do.
God, I haven't
this
done
is insane.
Okay, no, I should get to that one. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, you're safe. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, thankfully, they're rotating in the right direction.
Yeah, it's unlike the other way. Like that's the other hard thing about chains is that the asteroids are actively moving in the other direction. So if you mess up, you can't like catch up on one.
So yeah, that's our first skip done. So now we just do the same style thing again.
Bam, just like that. Insane skip.
Yeah, those
Beautiful.
checkpoints just over there.
Yeah, oh yeah. And
I'm
again,
just trying to remember where the
A-
nearest checkpoint was.
Yeah. Again, A+ to you, Falcon, for literally using your eyeballs and finding these. Well, apparently I didn't need to do. Apparently, I just didn't need to do that.
Yeah, after that first one at Star World 3, I was like, what happens if I just look up? Does anything look nearby?
Anything neat up here? Oh, weird. The end of the
There's something
stage.
is neat up here.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Wasn't sure if I was going to grab that or not. I was going to be in that weird sort of no man's
Yeah, it
zone
was
where
kinda
there's nothing to
awkward,
grab.
Like, please.
All I can say is thankfully you don't have to go off these into the star at the end.
Oh yeah. Like,
They give you a nice static vine to go off, which is still enough to sort of throw me off, but
it's still better than the rocks.
okay, I've gone a bit high, but just stall in
That's
the air and
fine.
fall
As
into
long
it.
as we get in, that's all we care about.
Okay.
All right, and time's gonna be coming up soon.
Yes, we've got-
once he activates the final constellation mark, that'll be time.
Yes, the final one's a bit different than the rest, whereas on all these ones you have to get close to it and then press F to interact. The last one I have to land in the circle and then it just does it automatically.
So one final stretch to the goal right here.
Yep. This bit's all just about being able to get just pure straight line speed. And a small... defeated by a staircase.
Yeah. Ah, the short lip of stone. And here comes time coming up.
Yep. When I land in the circle... Time.
Time.
Incredible.
Falcon,
Dare I
I
ask?
gotta say, I dare tell you, Falcon, congrats on the new world record, buddy.
Oh my god!
What's the
That
time?
was a 1:16:49.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible.
116.
1:16:55.
just to give you a bit of context, my sum of best on my splits, which I forgot to start, is 1:15:54.
So yeah, absolutely crushed that.
Wow.
Your sum of best is about to shoot up.
Yeah. Wow.
That is a beat of the world record by 5 minutes, I think.
7? No, yeah, 6 or 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, just an insane jump. Way to you played that
Incredible job.
just clean. That's the thing. You played that clean the entire way. No major falls or backtracking on your end. You just crushed it the entire way.
Absolutely huge. Well done, FalconLuma.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, like,
World record!
I'm still trying to find the
Another
words. But no, like, that was so good. Like,
That was a fantastic run. Well, I got work to do now.
Thank you guys so much for the incredible run and the incredible commentary. Very much appreciate it.
thank you for having us. Thank you for
Yeah, it was.
thank you
was
and the whole team for like doing this whole event that lets us do this.
Yeah, just accepting this run in general was just an absolute joy to see. So like, we wouldn't have been able to do this without Speedromizer and all the people who run it and volunteer for it. So thank you guys for letting us showcase this game. Falcon did a great job showcasing it.
Oh my gosh. World record showcase.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in learning this run, Falcon also has some videos up on YouTube for some of the major skips for specific areas of the game.
Yeah.
And of course, like we have our runs up that you can check out and see the different strats and routes that we use. We don't have a specific Discord for Star Sign speedruns yet.
Yeah. Well, it's just the two of us.
Yeah, it's just the two of us for now. But if you are interested in this run, please take it up. It's an absolute joy to play through, and the run is just fantastic. So feel free to join in on this. This is it's a 2-man party that's waiting for more to join in.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know really what else to say. I mean,
yeah, I mean, when you crush it that hard, it's just
It's
hard for any other
for a
words
run
to
like
happen.
that.
When you absolutely just like, whatever, I just played this.
You could just drop the controller, stand up,
You made
and walk
it- you
out of
made
the
it look
room,
like nothing.
and
Yeah.
we'd all be smiling and clapping the whole time.
and like part of it is I had no clue what my time was until the end.
I was so excited to that. I'm very glad that you didn't time it yourself because I couldn't wait for you to hear.
Yeah,
The
just
good
like,
news.
oh.
I was like watching the time on like the last two things, and I was like, oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
I had a feeling it would be
is-
good, but I was thinking like 121, 120, not 116.
Yeah, DJ
Oh.
makes a very good point in chat. That is 3 world records that have been set for this event so far.
Wow.
It's insane. We are so lucky to have such great runners with us during this event as well. So again, thank you guys so much. This has been an absolute joy to watch.
I'm at least, if I wasn't able to run in this event, I'm just glad that I was able to commentate for these runs and be here for this one. I'm so glad I got to be here for this.
Yeah.
Oh man, that felt so good to watch.
Yeah.
Biggest smile on my face.
And that is our end of day 2 for Speedromizer. Finishing out at a massive total of $727 raised for community, which is so admirable. I am so very proud and happy of this community. And moving forward, we will be moving into just another day as we continue along with even more speedruns into day 3 tomorrow. But without further ado, I'm going to pass the torch over to DJ Fatso, who's going to take it away for the finale of day 2. It has been an absolute pleasure to be your host as always, and I'm looking forward to doing so in the future.